Hi everyone, welcome to today's Common Problems and Solutions training. My name is Owen and I'm a teacher here at Class 100. This training has been designed to help you have solutions to problems you may face when teaching online inside the classrooms. So today we are going to talk about before class problems and solutions, in class problems and solutions, contacting us, and finally adapting to technical issues. We'll also give you this PPT so that you can read through this after watching the video. Before class problems. These are problems which happen before your class begins. For example, going onto our website, logging in, internet issues before the class begins. So these are some of the most common problems that you will see and how to solve them. First, we have visiting our website. So if you encounter problems visiting our website, first thing you should do is check your connection and refresh. You can refresh in the Google browser and try to see if that solves the problem on the website. It's very important that you use an Ethernet cable when teaching with us. If you don't use an Ethernet cable, this is probably why you're having problems. And if you have problems on the website, you'll definitely have problems inside the classroom. If you're using an Ethernet cable and there are no problems, and for some reason the website isn't working, restart Google Chrome. Exit Google Chrome, close down the program and open it again. Now, if these things don't help you and you're still having problems, contact us in our Skype group and we will try to solve it for you. The next kind of problem is logging in. So you're already on the website, you have the username and the password, class 100 Owen, password 123456. Try to log in, doesn't work. So if this happens, confirm your account and password. You will receive an email with your password and username. Just make sure you type it correctly, capitalization where needed, re-enter this information and try again. If it doesn't work, refresh, try again. If it doesn't work, restart your Google Chrome, the same as you do when visiting our website. If the problems do persist, contact us as soon as possible. Not 1 minute before the class, hopefully a few minutes, 5, 10, 20 minutes before the class, so we have time to solve it. Next kind of problems we have is class information. So you got your schedule in the email and we send you the email with your class times, you log in and you look at the classes for today and the class times are wrong or the information is wrong. If this is a problem, please contact us. Now, another problem is class information if you're unable to see your class schedule. So you log in, you think you have classes, but there's no classes there. First, click today's classes to update the status. If you click it and there's still no classes and you've been told you're scheduled, contact us on Skype and we will solve it. The next problem we may have is previewing the content and mistakes. We try to let you preview the content the weekend before classes begin so that you can prepare properly for the classes. If you can't preview the content for some reason, or you preview the content and there are mistakes such as English or design mistakes, contact us immediately and our education team will adjust the mistakes and correct them, and we'll make sure there's no problems for you when you teach. Next, entering page. So as you're familiar when you do your demos or your trainings or classes, there is a page where you can enter the classroom. So if you're stuck on this entering page and you can't enter the classroom, for example, it says loading and nothing happens, check your connection. Again, it's really important you're using the Ethernet cable. This is the sign for Windows. If you see this sign, or this logo, sorry, or icon, this means you're using the Ethernet cable. If you see this, you're going to have a problem, 100%. Make sure you see the correct one. If you do see the correct one, exit, re-enter, restart Google Chrome, the same as you've done before. If the problem still persists, you know what to do. Contact us immediately and we will solve the problem. Now we're going to talk about in-class problems and solutions to them. First problem is the video and the PPT. So sometimes when you're teaching a class, you may have a problem where your video or the student's video is freezing, or the PPT freezes and you're unable to teach the class to the best of your ability. First, refresh. In some cases, refreshing will solve the problem. If it doesn't solve the problem, restart Google Chrome and log back in. If problems persist, contact us. But if your video freezes and you're restarting Google Chrome, this would be a good time just to let us know you're encountering that problem rather than only telling us right at the end. Next is a black screen. So if the place you normally see yourself, which is by here, if the place you normally see yourself is black, that means you have something wrong with your camera. First, check if the camera is working on the equipment page. So do you remember before you enter the classroom, you can see your camera and you can check the mic, you can check the audio. Check to see if you can see yourself. If the screen is black, return to this equipment page and check if it's working. If you're on the equipment page and the black screen is still black, select another camera option. Okay, I'll try to show you now just so you can have a better idea of what I'm talking about. So you've just entered the classroom and there's a black screen. And this is the entering page. So by here, if this is black, you're having some kind of problem with your camera. Simply click here and select another option if there is one. If you can see yourself, that's great. You can enter the platform as you did before. However, if you don't see yourself or there is something wrong with the camera, you need to update your camera driver, which you can do on Windows and Mac by going through the settings page. If you can't do this or you still have problems, contact us so we can solve it. Next is the microphone. Very similar to the black screen. If the microphone is not working and students can't hear you or you can't hear students, check if the mic is working on the equipment page. On the equipment page, you can check and see if it's working when you speak. So let's take a look by here, going on to the entering page. So as you can see, when I speak, there's a green bar which is going up and down, up, down. This means the computer and the platform is identifying and projecting that sound, so the students will be able to hear it. Also, if you scroll down by here, there is a loudspeaker. If you play it,
it is 8 o'clock. The children go to school by car every day, but today they are...
If you didn't hear that, that's because of the recording software I'm using. So make sure it's working and check if there's another mic option. Update your sound card driver simply by going onto your settings on your Mac or on your Windows. If you can't do that or you're still having problems inside the classroom, contact us because it might be a problem with the school, but it's best to make sure it's not a problem with you first. Next, we're going to talk about dropping out. Dropping out basically means you're in the middle of teaching and suddenly you leave the classroom, you're gone, you dropped out. If this happens, check your internet connection. It's usually the reason why. Refresh, log back in. If the problem persists, restart Google Chrome and contact us if this happens. It's usually a good idea if you drop out just to let us know you've dropped out so we know that you're having some sort of difficulty and we can contact the school to let them know. From the student's end, if the students are dropping out and disappearing and coming back, it's not your fault. If this happens, contact us and we can contact the school to try to solve the problem. Okay, so we're going to move on now to contacting us. So I'm just going to read this to you. It's important, no matter the problem, you reach out to us so we can assist you. If you're encountering difficulties which don't allow you to teach or stop you from teaching to the best of your ability, contact us immediately so we can keep communication going between you, us, and the school. If you encounter problems, use our Skype group for the fastest response. If you have individual questions, you can always reach out to us privately. Basically, what this means is talk to us. We've had situations in the past where teachers may not say anything for 5 minutes and they can't enter the platform, and then 5 minutes later they tell us, oh, I can't enter the platform. Tell us when it happens, and then we will be able to try and solve it. We also want to know so that we can keep the communication with the schools. If the schools have problems, we will let you know, and if you have problems, we can let the schools know. The fastest response is Skype. Don't try to email us if you're having a problem inside your classroom or logging in. As you know, Skype is a lot easier to look through than 200 unread emails. So the best thing to do is to Skype us and tell us what the problem is in your Skype group. Now the final part says if you have individual questions. So individual questions doesn't necessarily mean individually contact us and saying, oh, I can't log into the platform. We prefer you to do this in the Skype group because we have lots and lots of troubleshooters who will be able to solve the problem. Individual questions may be about the contents of the class, your schedule, or things like this which don't require immediate attention, but can be specific to the person who is responsible for it, such as contacting your team leader, Michelle, or one of our other team leaders who is an OBT, an office-based teacher, who is a foreign member of staff who can help you in these situations, or contacting one of our scheduling team if there's a scheduling issue. Now, you can log into Skype on your phone. Very, very simple. If you encounter an internet problem, you can use your 3G and 4G to reach out to us. The reason that we've put this slide in is because we've had instances where people have said, oh, sorry, I missed my class. The internet was out. The first thing we think is, okay, 3G, 4G, phone. It's very simple to contact us in 2018, 2019, if this video is shown later. And if you do need to contact us, if you need to contact us and you're inside the classroom, you can use your Skype on the PC or phone. Now, we don't expect you to be like this when you are trying to talk to us when the students are looking at you. You can use the full screen button, or you can just keep it to your side like this and carry on talking in the classroom. There shouldn't be a situation where you just stop the class, lean back, and start talking to us with the students watching you. Next, you can use our Skype groups to reach out to us regarding issues inside the classroom. You will be assigned a team, and this is where you can communicate to us. It is better to use this group rather than privately contacting us. There are more tech support staff available there. If you enter the classroom 5 minutes before, you can then have time to let us know if you have a problem so that we can fix it before the students arrive. Adapting. So, we sometimes can't avoid technical issues, and in some cases you may be in the middle of a class and you may have nowhere to go. In this situation, it's important to adapt to students and carry on engaging with them until problems have resolved. The worst thing you can do is stop the class, stop the teaching, and do nothing until the problem's fixed. At times, it may feel right just to stop and wait for a solution. We feel this is a little inappropriate. As teachers, we must carry on to the best of our abilities. If you're able to adapt to situations, your students will keep their attention on you and also continue to be engaged in learning. I can't see the PPT and stopping the class until a solution is found benefits no one. If you can't see the PPT, how about trying an activity or a game until we solve the problem? If you can't see the content, you can inform the teacher inside the classroom and us on Skype. Then complete an activity or game until we reply with a solution. And these activities and games I'm going to let you know about later on. Always have Skype open on either your computer or phone. We have come up with a range of activities that you can use inside the classroom so that silence doesn't occur. Just make sure you let us know the problem while you're doing this. So here's a collection of different games that we've come up with which don't require all of the functions of the platform if you are experiencing issues. First one, Hangman. It's such a simple game and it can be played by nearly all grades of students depending on the vocabulary that you use. So it's very easy. You could just do an activity like this. Okay, it's a 4-letter word. Let's play Hangman until the functions are working again. Now, sometimes this whiteboard function will not work, but if it does and you can't see the PPT, this is a great game that you can play with the students until we solve it or contact you on Skype. Other games, opposite actions. If I say up, you say down. Ready? Up, down, left, right. Doing the opposite actions. Sequences of actions, exactly the same. Up, down, left, right. Get the students to do it. Simon Says, everyone knows Simon Says. Everyone knows I Spy. It doesn't require any functions. It just needs the camera, your voice, and the microphone. Listen and clap. This is a game I like to play with primary school students. I will give them a topic like animals. If I say an animal, you clap. Ready? Dog, cat, mouse, baby. Baby! Baby's not an animal, and it can be a really fun activity. Make a story. Now, this is more suited to older grade students, perhaps middle school. I will be the first person. One day, I went to the shop. Then you have another student stand up, and that student may say, I wanted to buy some bananas, and carry on the story. Another one, Pictionary. If the whiteboard function works, draw pictures and have students guess what they are. Ideally, it would be the vocabulary that they're learning. Finally, plan ahead of time. You already know the target language, so you should or could prepare flashcards or props that you can use to aid your teaching, but also to pass time when there are technical issues that you are facing. Some more things that you can do. Charades. So simple. Do an action. Okay? Let me think. Who am I? You are a basketball player. Very good. Who wants to try? Who wants to try? Yes. Spelling bee. This would be for probably middle school or high school students. And although I personally wouldn't use this activity because it can be quite boring sometimes, it is something that you could do asking students to spell words. Words in a word, very simple. Type a word, for example, landscape, and students have to write down all of the words they can find inside that word. Land, sad, ape, lap, and etc. Multi-purpose. So this is a humorous game. For example, you just type on the screen, what can you do with a potato? You can eat it. Good. And get them in groups to write down all of the things that they can do. And it can be quite funny. You can eat it. You can you can throw it. There's so many things that you could do. And finally, tongue twisters. Everyone knows a tongue twister. She sells seashells on the seashore. Get students to carry on with you, and you can type it out on the screen. Okay, that's fantastic. Now, next, we're going to talk about this part in the black, which says you can find many resources online to keep students engaged. Google ESL activities, ESL warm-ups, ESL, which means English as a second language. So you can find things related to the target language which are most effective. This is what we want to do. So activities which are related to the target language would be the best things to do when you encounter a problem and you want to have some fun. The most important thing is to keep the class going. Don't let the technical issues stop you completely. They may restrict you, but you can still have that dialogue and communication with the students. Of course, if you can't see me, you can't hear me, PPT not working, stop. There's no point in trying. Contact us and tell us directly, and you don't need to carry on. But one thing I do want to emphasize is if you do find yourself in a technical problem and you are doing an activity, you still have to tell us there is a problem so that we can fix it and you can go back to teaching the class as you would normally as well. Right, so here are some tips before I go. First, restart your computer at the beginning of every work day. Sometimes your computer gets glitches or bugs. Just restart it when you wake up or before you teach your first class. Second, flashcards props. You're teaching fruits? Bring some fruits. You're teaching sports? Bring a basketball, bring a baseball. Flashcards, they're really useful to use. Check your hardware. The reason we have that entering page is because you can see yourself, you can hear yourself, and you can talk. Check it before you enter. Next, leave it to us. We've had times in the past where teachers, they take the initiative and say, oh, I'm going to restart my computer. I'm going to do this. If you're in a dialogue with us and we're telling you to do something specifically, please listen to us because we probably will be able to help you. ASAP, the sooner we know a problem, the faster we can help. Cool, calm, and collected. Relax, it's okay. Don't panic, don't go crazy. It's not a problem. These technical issues do sometimes happen. Missing files. So if you have a video or an audio file in your PPT and it doesn't work, relax. It's okay. Just move on and do the planned activities which are later on in the PPT. Adapt to the problem. We've had some teachers which will play the audio file and it doesn't work and they go, oh, the audio file isn't working, guys. What should we do? You don't need to say that. You can just, if the audio file doesn't work, just move on and say, okay, we are now going to read the script. Just keep it calm and relaxed. Location. This is a really important one. Do not attempt to teach from a location without testing with us first. Just because your internet is good in California doesn't mean when you go on a trip to go on a trip to New York for the weekend, your classes will be completely fine and the internet will be great from that hotel room. You need to let us know if you've moved because we can test the connection there in that location. Finally, update. Always update your Google Chrome. If you miss an update, you might have a problem because our platform updates with Google Chrome and we always add new things. So make sure that you do that. Alternatively, you can use our software. When you receive this PPT, you can click the link for Dropbox and this will give you one of the latest versions that you can use. So guys, that is all of the problems that we can think of and all of the solutions which will be able to help you. Remember, have fun in the class, have activities, play games, don't stop the class if you're encountering issues, keep it going and don't break character. That's all I have to say. So if you guys have any questions, you're more than welcome to contact me at owen@class100.com or contact one of our members of staff. I wish you the best of luck in your training and hope you can teach with us soon. Goodbye.